Well, you can't fault the atmosphere. Flamethrowers, plastic flags, and two huge banners that say Fulham FC Dare to Dream. The noise, cacophonous, the welcome warm. 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League table, fighting on four fronts. Their two flying fullbacks on their way back. And there's no doubt that Liverpool are heading back to their best. Now Jurgen Klopp is just 90 minutes away from taking his team back to Wembley for another cup final date with Chelsea. It will be their 11th cup final this century. Standing in their way, a Fulham side that took the lead at Anfield, had their chances to further it, but saw the tables turned in 3 quick minutes at Anfield after Liverpool flashed their depth from the bench. And if it hadn't have been for Bernd Leno, the Cottagers probably would have crumbled in that game. They didn't, and that's why they have a chance here tonight. Fulham have a solid recent record here at Craven Cottage. They have won 8 times in their last 11 home games, with standout wins in that process against Arsenal and West Ham United. They start tonight with Bernd Leno in goal. The Spaniards at right back, Tosin, Diop and Robinson, the back four. Polina and Kearney holding midfield, with De Cordova-Reid and Willian flanking Jimenez in attack and Pereira in the number 10 position. Liverpool have Kelleher in goal, a back four of Bradley, Quansah, Van Dijk and Gomez, McAllister, the anchor in midfield, and there could be any configuration in midfield really, because Gakpo's played in there, Elliott has too. Gravenberch is also involved tonight. Nunez and Diaz will be part of a front three, that is for sure. Alongside me for what we thought was going to be the last ever second leg of a Carabao Cup semi-final is Scott Minto, but that's not going to be the case now, because the EFL come out today and said there is no agreement in place for next season to drop the two-legged semi-finals in the calendar. But tell me how you think Fulham can reach their first ever League Cup final.
Well, I think the atmosphere here is incredible. It is a shame about that middle bit of the main stand. Can you imagine if it was completely full, but still they're creating the atmosphere. And I just think, Sam, first and foremost, any smaller side playing at home against a bigger side, you want to test out how they are mentally, if they're ready for it, if they're too relaxed, if they're maybe a little bit nervous. And I don't think Liverpool players will be nervous as such, but sometimes you can be not quite on it. I think they should go at it for the first 10-15 minutes, see how they are, and almost go in 15-minute segments. If you can get that early goal, great. Can you crack on and maybe even try and get another one? Do they look like they're just a little bit cold at the moment? If Liverpool come at Fulham really, really strong, like we know they can, home or away, Klopp's philosophy, try and press high and try and almost smother them, then they have to find a way to maybe knock the ball a little bit longer. But they have to create chances, they have to be patient, and as Aid and I were talking a little bit earlier, I do genuinely believe they have to score the first goal.
Yeah. Well, Liverpool had a few wobbles in that first leg defensively. Can Fulham find a way to trouble them tonight? In the Championship over on TalkSport 2, Leeds against Norwich is currently 0-0. In the Premiership in Scotland, Hibernian 0, Rangers 0, St Johnstone 0, Aberdeen 0. And Chelsea women can go through to the knockout stage of the Champions League tonight if they beat Real Madrid at Stamford Bridge. Ian Abrahams is there for us. It kicks off in just a few seconds, but we're underway live on TalkSport tonight. The FA Cup starts tomorrow. From Friday, there are 9 live commentaries on TalkSport and TalkSport 2, including Chelsea against Villa, Spurs City, Newport against Manchester United. We have Liverpool's game with Norwich too. Will they already be Cup finalists then? They get us off and underway. They're attacking the goal away to our right. The Hammersmith end in the first half. Red shirts, red shorts and red socks. And that home Fulham side in white shirts with black sleeves and black socks and shorts, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. Simon Hooper is the referee. There's no VAR because Middlesbrough and Chelsea couldn't use it, so no one gets to. So it is just Simon Hooper's word against everything else tonight. He has just put down some foam on the edge of the penalty area away to our right-hand side. An early free kick and a tester here for Bernd Leno, because Liverpool on the attack have Elliott, the former Fulham player, drifting the ball in towards that near post. It's flicked on towards the far post by Luis Diaz, and misses the upright and flies behind and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. So the first effort on goal is a Liverpool one.
Well, first of all, I was just waiting to see if Harvey Elliott was going to pick up the phone and move it a bit closer to the goal, but he didn't. But it's a good ball coming in, and again, Liverpool with the height they've got. It's actually Luis Diaz, who's not the tallest, but they do have height, the set pieces. So it's almost they tick almost every box. It's going to be a really tough game, as I say, for Fulham, but why not go for it? One person we haven't talked about actually is Paulinho. I think he's been superb since he's come to English football. I wouldn't be surprised if he does go on to another club next season. Probably only his age, actually, that's the reason why he's not so far, with the greatest respect to Fulham, but he will be very important protecting the back four.
Tosin heads the ball away. He's been linked with Milan this morning. The ball is loose on halfway, won by Conor Bradley. An intelligent pass to Gravenberch, who starts an attack which leads to Diaz on the left edge of the box. He pokes it through to Nunez down the left side of the area now, gets to the byline. Can he cut it back? Well, Fulham have snapped back into shape very well, but Nunez is still in possession. Across to Gomez, who from the left full-back position swings it in right-footed. Robinson into the air, comes to Elliott, whose volley is a miss kick. It's away by Diop, and it's cleared. It's rather gleeful. Leeds taking the lead against Norwich on Talk Sport 2. Here's Elliott up towards the edge of the area, chips it forward down the right channel, and again it's a little bit loose, and the Fulham fans who saw him leave for a relatively modest fee, I think £3.8 million. It was a fee that was decided by a tribunal in 2019, are quite pleased that he's had a couple of scuffs.
Yeah, the away fans at Anfield in the first leg were booing him a little bit whenever he was touching the ball, and they're doing the same here, of course. It's incredible, isn't it, how they got away with that, Liverpool. 3.8 million. My goodness me.
Yeah, I think he was about 15 at the time. Patrick Bamford got that goal over on TalkSport 2, by the way, for Leeds. Fulham have won the ball back in the centre circle. It's 2-1 to Liverpool on aggregate, and it's 0-0 on the night. And Robinson's given the ball away cheaply to Gakpo. He's overrun it, and it's intercepted by Diop. He's running to Gravenberch, who threatened to nab the ball, and then Diop's given it away anyway. A bit sloppy the start from Fulham, and Liverpool going on the front foot once again, nudging the ball to the left-hand side, where it's collected by Darwin Nunez. He tucks it back infield, Gravenberch into McAllister's path, and then they build through Kwanzaa over the halfway line down the right side. 3.5 minutes gone on Talk Sport. Bradley chops back infield, watched by Robinson. Robinson shows him inside, and then eventually there's quite a few white shirts to clog up that central area, and the ball goes back to halfway once again. Not a great delivery from right to left by Kwanzaa, and it goes out of play, and it's out for a throw-in deep inside Fulham territory. If they do want to have a real go at it tonight, it is going to be important for Fulham to get the first goal here this evening. And the good news for Fulham is that in every game in the Carabao Cup this season, they have taken the lead. They will be hoping for that trend to continue this evening.
They did at Anfield, didn't they?
They did. Ball clipped out towards the far side by Virgil van Dijk from halfway line to left edge of the area. Diaz then tries to travel infield. He's being tracked by Bobby Duckord over Reed. It's a good crossfield ball though out to Conor Bradley, who's right up high inside opposition territory. He fizzes the ball through the 6-yard box, but he overhit that, and it was a hidden hope really, which went out of play over on the far side and away for a throw-in. Liverpool started the season with a brand new midfield and a freshened attacking lineup. They took their time to feel their way into the season, but despite all the injuries and absences, they are unbeaten in 8. They feel like they're coming to the boil as they reach the second stretch of the campaign. Jimenez dropping deep into his own half, finding Robinson, who has just sort of double tapped the ball and lost control of it and given it straight to Harvey Elliott.
The second time he's given the ball away. I mean, I really like him. I think he's a very good player, decent defensively and very good going forward, but he needs to be on it. And we were talking about how sometimes you have to beat the Liverpool press. It's exactly what they did there. Went a little bit longer. Raul Jimenez was waiting for it and they played out. That's the best chance for Fulham to try and do that and counter-attack Liverpool.
Yeah, Anthony Robinson, a real weapon on that left-hand side. Lots of crosses into the box. Is it a little bit like a latter-day Scott Minto, isn't he?
I'll take that.
I think we saw the importance of a good left-back last night. Chilwell for Chelsea's opener was terrific. What an asset he will be if he's fit and ready for England.
It's an underrated position, Sam.
Nunez down the left-hand side, moving to the edge of the penalty area as Liverpool come on the attack again. He comes inside, right-footed shot, takes a deflection into the arms of Leno, and it's a save down towards his near post by the very impressive German goalkeeper, actually. It's been a terrific performance since getting the move from Arsenal.
Yeah, and Liverpool have started well though. I mean, I talked about how you try and go at them. Are they really at it? You know, a little bit cold, a little bit relaxed? No, they really are, and they've started very much on the front foot. Darwin Núñez just coming in, floating to the left, coming into his right foot. Can't allow him to have a shot, but in the end it was a pretty weak shot. Interesting is Gakpo is playing a little bit further forward, and it's Harvey Elliott as the midfielder. But again, the front three, or those two, can be fluid. It's such a fluid front 6 or 7, it really is.
Yeah, Núñez can stretch out to the left-hand side as well. Decordova-Reid has picked the ball up for Fulham, who come on the attack for the first time. Down to Castagna, right side, low cross in towards the near post, which took a little deflection, and Kelleher thought it might sneak in at the near post, so went down to his left, tipped it behind, and out for the first corner of the game for Fulham.
Well, he did have to be careful there, because Castagna did well just to try and hook his foot around it, and he whipped it across. He couldn't cut it back, but Kelleher was just a sort of yard or so away from the near post, so he had to be certainly making better safe than sorry.
Andreas Pereira, who takes the corner kick, swings it in towards Palhinha. It's a free volley inside the box, and he steered it over the bar. Well, it was a massive opportunity for a leveller on the tie and to take the lead on the night for Marco Silva's team. It was a beautifully weighted corner. It was about a yard back from the 6-yard box. He ghosted into the position unwatched, and well, I must admit, I can't believe how free he is inside the penalty area. How has he missed?
It's ridiculous. I mean, how he's free there. It's not as if it's a really whipped in ball. It's certainly a very precise ball from Pereira, but all he needs to do there is try and hit the target. Don't try and hit it too hard. Don't try and beat the goalkeeper. Just get it on target, and hopefully it goes either side of him. But in the end, he didn't even do that.
Well, 7 minutes on the clock. That is a golden chance for Fulham to get in front in the game. It's 0-0.
Not going to get too many chances throughout the whole of the 90 minutes, Sam. So when you do get the chance, you need to be clinical. You really do. At the very least, hit the target.
History isn't really on Fulham's side. If they qualify, Fulham would be the 37th different team to reach the League Cup final, and the first maiden finalist since Bradford and Swansea in 2013. But only 25% of teams that lose the first leg of a semi-final tie have reached the final, and they lost by 2-1. Tosin at the heart of the Fulham defence, out wide to the right. Castagna harassed by Diaz, turns away from him, does well to get it down the line, but can't reach Raul Jimenez, and Virgil van Dijk just moves across, wins it back, and then Kantar, under pressure from Pereira, turns it back to the Dutchman, who gives it to his goalkeeper. 0-0, leaving Kelleher, who had a bit of a dodgy game in the league match against Fulham, and there was one or two sort of raised eyebrows about him starting the semi-final in the first leg. Didn't do too badly that night, and we'll hope to keep a clean sheet tonight. He knows if he does that, then Liverpool will be through to a record-beating 14th EFL Cup final. 10 minutes on the clock. TalkSport live at Craven Cottage, under the floodlights by the River Thames, and the ball pushed into Pereira's path, and then on to Tom Kearney, who works it wide, out to Willian, who scored the goal at Anfield, down the left to Robinson, brilliant cross into the centre, goes past Kelleher, who just about got enough to take it away from Decordova-Reid, and it's out on the far side once again.
Yeah, that's what they're so good at down the left-hand side. Robinson just bombing on. Willian gets the ball. He really does try to get out wide as much as possible, but the lung capacity of Robinson is brilliant.
Cross into the box is aimed in towards the near post. There's no one in white anywhere near that, and then there's a collision between Castagna and McAllister, which goes unpunished. It's away for a throw into Fulham, midway between the edge of the penalty area and the corner flag over on the right-hand side. 0-0 the score. McAllister gingerly gets back to his feet. Kelleher under scrutiny, but did enough from that cross into the box by Robinson, who is such a danger. Here is Palhinha into the box again. Quansah with a header away. Further clear from the edge of the D by Gakpo, and then Diop wins it, but it was a bit high. He went in on Diaz, and the free kick is given against him, and it's going to be possession back to Liverpool midway inside their own half. It's been a good start to the game. Liverpool started fast. Fulham have had a couple of half chances.
They certainly have. The first few minutes Liverpool did start well, but just watching a replay of the ball in from Robinson, very, very good ball and a decent touch from Kelleher.
Only half clear from Robinson, who hit it against his own player Kearney. Fight going on between Raul Jimenez and Quansah. I mean, there was one or two empty seats in the ground, and there's still a few people arriving we've got word from outside that it's very difficult to get in tonight. Not difficult for Liverpool here to get in because Diaz has got inside the penalty area. He's shot towards the near post. Leno's fumbled it. It's gone behind him and it's in. Well, it's a bit of poor goalkeeping from Bernd Leno. Luis Diaz from the left-hand side, cutting in and getting in far too easily onto his right foot, down low to the goalkeeper's right, and somehow it's squirmed under the palms of Bernd Leno. And Liverpool have a 3-1 lead over the tie, a 1-0 lead on the night. And that's a bad start for Fulham.
Oh, you know what, as well, just as Fulham were really getting into the game and created a couple of half chances. It was a simple crossfield ball. Luis Diaz won it. He had the shot. He came inside. And Bernd Leno, my goodness me, 99 times out of 100. He'll be saving that. It's not even the strongest of shots. Diaz does well, bringing it down on his chest. He comes inside. Slight deflection. And he must watch that 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 times over the next coming days and will think, how on earth have I not saved that? He stuck his arm out and it's almost gone underneath his hand onto the post, into the goal. That's a massive goal in this tie.
I think it's an own goal because I think Luis Diaz has his shot dragged onto a Fulham defender and the deflection takes it in at an awkward angle. Even so, it's travelling at such a slow pace that Leno has time to react and he gets something on it, but just not enough to push it round the post. He's going to be incredibly disappointed by that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be surprised if it goes down as an own goal, because you're right, it did take a deflection, but I think it was going on target anyway. But my goodness me, just as Fulham were doing really well.
If there was VAR here tonight, and there isn't VAR here tonight, would they have looked at the challenge between Castagna and Diaz? Because Marco Silva has gone straight over to the fourth official to complain about that.
I don't think so, not what I saw. I saw Luis Diaz jumping for the ball and being able to almost chest it down. There's a fullback's point of view. I mean, look, if a winger's going to take you on with a great bit of skill, then so be it. But if that high ball comes in, you've got to position yourself well, one, and then two, be really strong as the ball comes down. You know, Luis Diaz was able to bring the ball down on his chest. I don't see how that was a foul.
Leeds 1, Norwich 0. 0-0 Hibernian Rangers, St Johnstone 0, Aberdeen 0, and Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 0. And Luis Diaz has been credited with the goal initially after 11 minutes here that's given Liverpool the lead. The reason we've got a pause, by the way, we're not underway for the restart, is because a red flare was flown onto the pitch over in the far corner, and we had to have a pyrotechnics expert come and defuse it, take it away to safety.
That's ridiculous why that was thrown on.
Fulham 0, Liverpool 1 at Craven Cottage. 3-1 on aggregate to Liverpool. And Fulham now have got to come back from 2 goals down in the tie just to take it to extra time.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've got to forget they're 2 goals down. One, they've got to go back to how they were just a few minutes ago, attacking very well and just try and get the next goal. We talked about the first goal being important. Well, Liverpool do get the next goal, then they're out of sight. But if Fulham are able to do it, especially in this half, but even in the second half, they can just make things nervy. So do not concede from now on in. Cannot afford to concede for the rest of the game. But again, don't panic.
Which is what Diop's just done. There's Bernd Leno threatened to come out, and then he hesitated, eventually managed to clear. Pereira up over the halfway line, and Kwanzaa chests it down and gives it a little wobble, comes back infield, and rather calmly slips it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Tom Kenny said that he would try to recall the 2018 playoff semi-finals when they were trailing in the first leg of Derby, but ended up winning. And if you delve into history, actually second legs where they've been behind have sort of been all right for Fulham in the past. Bologna 2002, the Intertoto Cup, the round of 16 second leg with Juventus in 2010, Hamburg in the semi as well. But conceding first tonight has really given them another setback. Liverpool have the ball and the lead. Here is Van Dijk. Far side on the left is the goal scorer Luis Diaz, who does a little twist and gets away from the attention of Castagna. I think he'll be kicking himself for not beating Diaz in the air in the first place.
100%. And the problem with conceding the first goal, and obviously they're 2 goals behind now, is the team that scores that goal are able to control the tempo of the game. They don't need to rush it. And obviously Fulham will try and press as much as they can, but if good passing comes on, they're able to play through them.
Gomez plays it out wide towards the right. Elliott through the legs of Robinson into Cody Gakpo. Back to Elliott once again. Liverpool with a bit of swagger about them tonight. Play the ball out towards Connor Bradley. Into Gakpo, round the corner. So much room for Elliott, who's allowed to wander into the box. Slips into the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's cleared away before it can reach Gravenberch, who was arriving. They've won it back again, and they look a little bit jaded here now, Fulham, after the concession of that goal. The foul by Gakpo, probably a little bit harsh for Simon Hooper to award that, but he has, and it's a free kick just in front of the 18-yard box. Hibernian 0, Rangers 1 on TalkSport after half an hour. And you mentioned it, the problem is now, if Fulham are more ambitious, at some point, they're going to have to be, then that's going to leave the opportunity for Liverpool to exploit the spaces.
Yeah, we've already seen in the last couple of minutes, a couple of times, Liverpool just playing nice little 1-2s, and it just takes one Fulham player honestly to try and press, but not doing it right. And then suddenly another Liverpool player can get in behind him and they can attack, and we know how good this Liverpool attack is even without Mo Salah.
Yeah, and I was wondering actually how easy it was going to be for Liverpool to turn it on again. They had a really competitive game against Bournemouth on Sunday. And they did brilliantly second half, by the way. But in the first half, it was a competitive game, that. And I thought, no, maybe it might be difficult for them to go again today. But he's made 4 changes. They've come out and they've looked they've looked very good, haven't they? No,
they have. And I think that first half, sometimes they had, 10, 11 days off? Sometimes, again, you're not quite getting up to it. We know that Bournemouth in very good form as well. Difficult place to go, but they were very good in the second half.
Fulham 0, Liverpool 1. Ball sent wide out towards the right, and the pink-booted Cody Gakpo. It was glanced away by Robinson, picked up in the right-wing position by Darwin Núñez, and now it's with Connor Bradley. Infield to McAllister. Down the right it goes. Pinching it is Anthony Robinson. Can't push it clear enough. And it's picked up by Van Dijk. The clappers being used now by the Fulham supporters behind us here, as Liverpool look to build yet another attack. 18 gone. No one has won this trophy more often than Liverpool. 9 times winners, looking for a 10th. Jurgen Klopp was a little bit disappointed with the first half display at Anfield when these two met, because basically he said they'd got in a strop about the low block that Fulham had employed, and they were getting frustrated about not being able to play through it. And they didn't do too badly after they brought Núñez and Gakpo on. Here he is on the ball, Darwin Núñez. Scored 2 goals at the weekend down at Bournemouth. Takes it on, looks up, flies it out towards the left-hand side. Castagna gets up with Diaz and puts pressure on him once again. It's flicked away by Castagna.
Better from Castagna, better. Clearly they're looking to try and do that crossfield ball. He headed it, it was a lot stronger there.
Still have it on the left-hand side, Liverpool, inside Fulham territory. The ball is scuttled back into the path of Quansah, and then Bradley takes it beyond Robinson. It might have inadvertently touched his hand, but it was not a deliberate handball. Here is McAllister, who takes it past the centre circle and then out towards the left. It took a little bit of a movement in the air there, and Gravenberch then plays a reverse ball into Núñez, who couldn't control it. And Paulinho looks to try and release Jimenez, but didn't manage to pull it off, so it was pinched by Quansah, and they're back in again. Diaz down the left, he's over, kicked the ball there, and it's back to Tosin, who clears to the halfway line. It bounces over the head of the Mexican. Van Dijk rather calmly takes over, and Liverpool have possession once again, right side with Cody Gakpo.
They are very bright pink, those boots, aren't they?
They are.
Have to be a player to wear them.
Yeah, do you know what? I quite like them. I'm just not sure they go with the red.
You got pink boots, haven't you?
You don't want to know what colour mine are. Virgil van Dijk, long flying ball to Núñez, who heads it down, and Gravenberch was running into the 6-yard box trying to latch onto the end of it, but it was just a little bit too far ahead of him, and it scoots behind and away for a goal kick away to our right.
The beauty of Liverpool is that they can play in any kind of style at all, with or without the ball. They can play nice little intricate passing, or they can go long, which they've done a few times now. They've done it already to Luis Diaz a couple of times. The goal came from that, but also there, Darwin Núñez, really good run, and he was able to just bring it down, which it was a little bit too high for him. He would have been through on goal.
Yeah, I just wonder whether all the talk of history, all the talk of those big games that Fulham have won in these circumstances before, maybe just weighed a little bit heavy. Looking at Tom Kearney as he was coming out of the tunnel, I remember Adrian referring to it and saying he looks focused. I wonder whether or not he was a little bit nervous. because they started shakily, Fulham, and Liverpool have taken full advantage.
Do you know what? The first few minutes Liverpool were better, but the sort of second of the 5 minutes of the first 10, they created some chances. It's amazing how much of a difference a goal makes. And if you concede a goal, and in a really bad way as well, suddenly just psychologically, your body language just goes a little bit. The team who scored against you, they're up for it. They're passing a little bit zippier, and we know how good Liverpool are, as I say, when they're on the ball.
Well, I think here's Nunez trying to win the ball from McAllister's an offside position. I think we might go back, Scott, to that 7th minute of this second game between these two and look at that Palhinha chance and think that was where the tie went in Liverpool's favour.
Yeah, we talked about you've got to be clinical. They won't have too many chances. The first goal is going to be crucial, and that was the best chance of the game, in those first 10 minutes, wasn't it?
Feels like it, because at this moment in time it's all Liverpool and they're just dominating possession. Fulham struggling to get hold of it. They're going to need some comeback here if they're going to pull off a rescue act and get to Wembley and qualify for a first ever League Cup final. It is 1-0 to the away side and 3-1 on aggregate, and Van Dijk has it down the side of the centre circle, left side, into Gravenberch, who tries to chuck it round the corner, blocked by Palhinha, and then up it goes into Decordova-Reid, and then Palhinha tries to sweep it out to the left, but it's behind Willian, who's going to just about keep it in, find Robinson, who's immediately engaged by Gakpo illegally, free kick given short of the halfway line, while on this left-hand side.
Do you know what? You can say that Fulham's passing hasn't been good, and it hasn't, but it's because of Liverpool's pressing. The way they're able to go at them. You take a touch and someone's on you. If you haven't looked around before you've even received the ball and know what you're going to do, you're going to lose it, or just hit and hope.
So much energy in that Liverpool lineup tonight, isn't there, with Elliott, Gakpo, Nunez, Gravenberch getting around the pitch, covering the ground. Even like Conor Bradley, who's done very well to assimilate to the right fullback position since stepping in for Trent Alexander-Arnold. 22 and a half gone. Fulham 0, Liverpool 1 on TalkSport. Bradley has it on halfway. Leeds 1, Norwich 0 on TalkSport 2 at this moment in time. Hibernian behind against Rangers by a goal to 0. St Johnstone 0, Aberdeen 0. Those two teams in the bottom half of the Scottish Premiership, and Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 0 in the Women's Champions League, with Chelsea having the opportunity to go through in the competition. Marco Silva is going balmy over on the far side. He is incredibly unhappy. Here is Gomez getting it back to Van Dijk. He's gone under the radar, hasn't he, Joe Gomez?
Yeah.
He's playing left back, and he has done for the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's done brilliantly doing that.
Third choice left back, and he's looking as if he's been playing. I mean, look, he's not a left back, and he's certainly no Andy Robertson, and it's great to see him back as well, by the way. But I think he's done fantastically well since he's fitted in. He's one of those that he's such a talented player, and yet he's not quite able to make himself a Liverpool regular. Left back would be the last of the 4 positions you'd say that he'd be playing, but he's done very well.
Fascinating that you said, when we were talking about that Bournemouth game on Sunday, that Liverpool had a bit of time off and it took them a little while to get back into the game. Well, Fulham have had a bit of time off, haven't they? They've had 10 days break since their last match against Chelsea, which was live on TalkSport, and I wonder if that has also played a little bit of a part in the opening 24 minutes here. Gomez has it inside the centre circle, forward to Elliott. Elliott then skips away from Palhinha and moves laterally out towards the left-hand side. He's got Diaz in an advanced position, but he sends a crossing towards Gakpo, takes a deflection and goes behind. The offside flag was up anyway, but Leno came barnstormingly out, went to punch the ball, didn't get a clean punch on it, and actually hit it against Gakpo.
No, he's certainly lacking in confidence, or a little bit nervous at the moment, Leno, isn't he? Really good play from Harvey Elliott running across the line.
By the way, he wasn't offside.
It's tight. No VAR, we've gone old school, so they've got to accept it.
Diaz trying to wrestle with Castagna for the ball again. They get it back, Fulham, and then Palhinha uses his body to shield it as Gravenberch goes in for a tackle. Free kick is given just short of the centre circle, and it will be cleared away. 25 minutes gone. This is TalkSport, and we're live by the Riverside, by the Thames, but it's the Mersey beat that is the strongest so far. Liverpool lead by a goal to 0. Palhinha back to Leno, and then out wide towards the right. Tosin and just chops past Elliott, then weaves the ball infield to Kearney. Kearney looks out and tries to feed Robinson, and now he does that. Infield he goes to Willian. Then Willian darts down the left and tries to feed Robinson again, but Bradley comes across well, shuts down the attempt and pushes it out for a throw-in level with the edge of the penalty area. Fulham still on the attack. Willian runs towards the edge of the box and gets a square throw from Robinson. It drops in the area, far side, deckled over Reed, beaten to it by Gomez. His clearance might run through to Luis Diaz here. There was a tug back by Castagna, free kick given over on the far side.
He's struggling to deal with him, isn't he? Yeah, Castagna on Luis Diaz, and I'm really pleased for Luis Diaz as well, who's obviously had a tough season off the pitch, and I think his form has been affected a little bit, but he's certainly playing a prominent part today, and not just in the goal.
Well, Fulham's season has been a little bit of a roller coaster. Not a thrill ride from Alton Towers, more one of those that you get when the funfair comes to the local park, but they've troubled Manchester City, West Ham and Liverpool, beaten Arsenal, but contrived to lose at home to Burnley. They've got excited about the prospect of a first ever League Cup semi-final, even the prospect of getting to Wembley, but they've got a long way to go now if they are to come back and force this one even into extra time. They need 2 goals against Liverpool. Here is Gakpo down the right side as Liverpool win it again, high up into Elliott, back to Gakpo, edge of the D now, scoops it forward. Darwin Núñez, he hits the post and the flag is up anyway and it won't count as Diaz puts it into an empty net. Well, Darwin Núñez, who loves the woodwork, by the way, he's hit the woodwork 5 times in the Premier League alone and a lot more in cup competitions. It was really tight, but Simon Long put his flag up straight away. It was a brilliant move.
Brilliant move from Liverpool, really was. They look so good going forward, don't they? But he was definitely offside. It was actually really good full-back play from Timothy Castagna, because he could easily have tried to go with Darwin Núñez. And it is a gamble, of course, when you play, but you're the final man. You should be able to look along the line. He did. It's a very good play from him.
Another chance for Liverpool. Ball out of play near side. Level for Fulham. 28 gone. 1-0 on the night. 3-1 on aggregate to Liverpool. Willian leaves it for Robinson as Fulham urged on by their vocal support here at Craven Cottage tonight. Robinson has it again. Flicks it into Jimenez, whose hold-up play has been poor. And they've given it away again. One back by Polinia, as it usually is. Willian back out to Jimenez. Again he loses the ball, this time to Bradley. One back by Kearney. Willian high up, left side, dances into the box. On the left side, down to Jimenez. Jimenez's cross has got to be a good one. It's flicked away by Van Dijk. He was offside anyway, Jimenez. It's going to be a free kick.
Now, but much better from Fulham, and the fans, you can hear just getting behind them now. Look, Liverpool looks so strong, you have to say, and are creating chances almost at will, but Fulham have to believe that they are still in this tie, and Willian is certainly one of those players that does. That in itself is tight, but it is probably the right decision, actually. But better from Raul Jimenez as well. At least he's trying to get more involved. You're right, his hold-up play hasn't been good enough, but he needs to be able to, if the ball comes up to him, the midfielders need to know that it's going to stick for a bit and they can make runs in behind him.
Leeds against Norwich is live over on TalkSport 2. Leeds are leading that by a goal to nil. Overnight tonight, the start of England's tour to India. We are the only UK broadcaster with the team on the ground, bringing you exclusive radio coverage and behind-the-scenes information from the tour. It's on air from 3:30 tomorrow morning. Peterson, Bumble, Darren Goff part of the team. Live coverage of England against India from Hyderabad tomorrow. And already there's a little bit of drama and controversy about visas and about players not being able to play. Well worth a listen tomorrow morning.
There's an interesting chat on White and Jordan today as well.
Yes, it very much was. And Bumble compared it to the Basil de Oliveira case in the early 80s. Here is Willian, who's just about scooting it through to Jimenez. Inside the box, his cross is dreadful. Into the area. I think he just panicked then and didn't know that, or didn't have the confidence to go and take that ball on and move into the box, and he just wafted the ball into the path of Liverpool, and now they're on the counter-attack with Gravenberch out to the left, Diaz into the near post, this time stopped by Bernd Leno. But what a chance at the other end, Scott.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. He's looked up, there's not many options up there, but I think you're absolutely right. He's on his left foot, and it's a lack of confidence. Just whip it across as hard as you can. And even from a defending point of view, the last thing you want is to be able to be facing your own goal with a ball fizzing across you and you're thinking you've got to touch a bit, you're not able to control it. Complete lack of confidence there.
It's a real shame because they've had some promising moments, as they did in the first game and just not made the right decisions in those situations.
They've troubled Liverpool in the 2 games at Anfield this season. They've scored goals. This is probably their weakest performance so far, just when they're playing at home.
Palhinha trying to drop the ball in behind the defence, and Deco-Dovere not happy about the delivery. There's a little bit of frustration just starting to emanate from the stands here. But I think, Fulham will have to look back on this and think, well, we are playing against Liverpool, but they'll also look back on a couple of chances in this first half and think, what if?
Do you know what, Sam? We're absolutely nitpicking, but you hit the nail on the head. They're up against a team that is on fire. It's the best team in the Premier League right now in terms of form. They're going for the quadruple, though they'll only whisper that. So good with and without the ball. It's so difficult to play against a team like this.
But you've got to take your chances when they come.
You've got to take your chances. That Palhinha chance was a great chance because no one was near him.
Yeah, big chance. Missed by Palhinha. And I think that will certainly be of concern to Marco Silva. The good news is that, Fulham did go behind against Arsenal and come back and win that game by 2-1. And 2-1 takes us to extra time tonight. So you never know. Here's Kearney halfway. Lovely flick into Willian. On it goes to Jimenez. Jimenez turns. This time does a little bit better. Right footed shot towards the far corner, saved by Kelleher. And he turns it round the post and it goes out on this near side. Bradley stops it from going for a corner. And Gakpo then races clear and sends it on to Darwin Núñez, who's trying to get away from Tosin. That's a brilliant tackle from Tosin, who steps across his man and puts the ball out for a throw in middle of the edge of the penalty area. And that might just raise the tempo again.
Absolutely. First of all, for him personally, that's the perfect tackle, because not only do you win the ball, you get a little bit on the player as well. But no way is that a foul. And then what it does do is sometimes, you guys work with Stuart Pearce. I've played with Stuart Pearce. One of his tackles can be almost as good as a goal in terms of getting the crowd going.
St Johnstone 0, Aberdeen 0 is a half-time score from the Scottish Premiership. Hibernian 0, Rangers 1. Here it's 1-0. And Liverpool on the attack with Bradley, down by the corner flag. It's a low ball, which is blocked by Anthony Robinson, and it's out of play on this near side and away for a throw.
Well, I would say as well, don't forget, from that counter-attack Liverpool had, I thought Luis Diaz had a really poor shot. It was a really good chance for him to try and get an aim for the far post, and he wasn't able to do it.
Here is Gakpo, near side, into Harvey Elliott, who helps it back into the centre circle. Kelleher has come a very long way to get involved in the play here, all clad in green tonight, from head to toe. And it really is from head to toe, really. And now he's under pressure from Jimenez. He's got to do well with his kick out. He gave it to rather hot to Gomez, and now Fulham through Deco-Dovere have turned it over. Palhinha into Kearney. Kearney trying to get away from Elliott. Pokes it through a tight gap and continues his run down towards the byline. Needs a bit of support. Guides it back to Castagna. Castagna finds Deco-Dovere, and they're going backwards rather than forwards here. And then a little bit too much pressure from Luis Diaz. Gives away a free kick over on the far side. And it's going to be a free kick to Fulham, just in from the touchline, right-hand side inside Liverpool territory.
They're stepping it up now, though, Fulham, aren't they? Well, they're trying to, at least.
They have to, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. There's no point in leaving anything out on this pitch now.
No, because ultimately, tonight probably is the high watermark of their season. They're not going to get into Europe, I wouldn't have thought, by the league. So they will be thinking that this is their biggest opportunity of the campaign.
Still ways and means of doing it, though. Can't just go all out just because you're 2-0 down. As I say, that next goal, score it, they're back in it.
10 minutes to go before half-time, and the free kick delivered by Pereira in towards the near post, away by Quansah. And it drops out over on the far touchline in the left full-back position. Ryan Gravenberg was trying to clear it. Jimenez was jumping up in the air all over him. He's got the ball back now, bounces into the box, goes down, referee says no penalty. Ball goes back out wide to Willian. Jimenez has got to get back to his feet. He comes in on his left foot. Willian trying to guide something up, and he shoots down the throat of the goalkeeper from 20 yards out. It's an easy stop.
Much better from Fulham now, isn't it? They really are trying to step it up. And I actually think at first glance I thought it was the right decision not to give a penalty. I think Raul Jimenez went down very easily. I mean, there was contact, and not enough contact for me.
Yeah, I think that would have been harsh. Rangers have gone 2-0 up. Todd Cantwell on the stroke of half-time. Half-time whistle's now gone. It's Hibernian 0, Rangers 2. Palhinha down the left, stopped by Jarrell Quansah, and he kicks it clear up towards the halfway line, and then the big chaos monger Darwin Núñez goes throwing himself into the air, and Diop just manages to make it back from him, and he ends up on the floor, and Fulham have possession again.
What's his nickname?
Well, I think he's got several nicknames actually, but you are the president of his fan club, so you can tell us. You can christen him if you like.
I saw him at Benfica, and I covered the Portuguese football. I saw how good he was, and people turn around and say, oh, it's the Portuguese league, but he scored some goals that, you look at the chances he's missed here and you're thinking, well, how did he miss that? I don't think he'll ever be an Erling Haaland in terms of how clinical a finisher, and we're talking about earlier Liverpool clinical finishers. Don't think he'll be right up there, but he's just a horrible player to play against. He's got all the attributes, big, strong, and he never gives up either. Very good in the air.
Yeah.
So I think he's a really good attribute for Liverpool, and will get better.
Well, and he does cause chaos.
Absolutely. Chaos monger.
Chaos monger. There you go. He's got 10 goals this season. Here's Willian down the left-hand side in towards Robinson. Low ball into the near post. De Cordova-Reid was arriving, but so was Virgil van Dijk, and he scoops it out, and he does so well it doesn't go out of play, and Gakpo keeps it alive and manages to clear for Liverpool. But certainly this is Fulham's best spell of the game. 37 gone. 1-0 to Liverpool on the night. 3-1 to Liverpool on aggregate on TalkSport. And the League Cup final awaits against Chelsea. Who wants to take a place in it? At the moment, Liverpool massive favourites, but Pereira has the ball right side, helps it on. Castagna going on an inside run to try and get the better of Joe Gomez. He almost got round him, didn't quite manage it, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Leeds 1, Norwich 0 on TalkSport 2 at this moment in time. It's half-time there in a game that kicked off at 7:45 with Ian Danter and Neil Redfern tonight. And remember, more live football for you this weekend. 9 commentaries from the FA Cup starting on Friday with 2 in one go. TalkSport 2 for Chelsea against Aston Villa. It's not on UK TV. And also at the same time on TalkSport, it is Spurs against Manchester City.
Final one on Darwin Núñez.
Oh yeah, go on.
The only Premier League player so far this season to have 10 goals and 10 assists.
In all competitions.
Double figures in all competitions.
How many Saka got, Here down the right-hand side, the ball's played into the path of Conor Bradley. Gives the ball away and goes out as a player on the far side, away for a goal kick. Saka, I think, is 11 and 9.
He's close.
He's close, he'll get up there. Producers shouting in my ear, Ollie Watkins, Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, I heard that.
You've got to count the Europa Conference League. He's got, what has he got there? Is that 14 goals and 10 assists in all competitions? Ollie Watkins?
Let's have a look at that stat pack again.
Here is Willian down this near side. Doesn't get hold of the ball. It's played behind him by Kearney. And Brady will take the throw. Liverpool in possession, 39 on the clock. The Fulham fans again just trying to turn up the temperature into Darwin Núñez, who looks to turn. Willian robs him, plays it forward. De Cordova-Reid doesn't. He hesitated, he waited for the ball to come to him rather than making something happen, and in that period Gomez came across and nabbed it.
They're brilliant at it, Liverpool, aren't they? As I say, people can turn around and say, you didn't do this, you couldn't do that, why didn't you sometimes you're just so much under pressure, or you just have to, your timing has to be perfect when you play against Liverpool. Earlier in the season they were getting results without putting in superb performances. Now I think their performances are matching the results.
Diaz down the left hand side getting the better of Castagna again. He runs up towards him and cuts back in, gives it to Joe Gomez, who looks up and threatens to shoot from distance. He does, and I tell you what, that was heading towards goal. Well, he hasn't been managed to score in 236 previous appearances, Joe Gomez, but that was heading towards the top corner before Tosin Adarabioyo headed it over the top of the crossbar.
To be fair to him, he doesn't look uncomfortable being a right-footed player playing left back, and he is able to come inside. He's come very close in the last few games to getting that first goal.
Harvey Elliott doing an Ivan Toney and moving the ball out of the position it's supposed to be in. And here is the left-footed outswinger from the corner, and it's going to be retaken again, is it? There was a bit of pushing and shoving inside the penalty area. It was a terrible corner anyway, and he's probably a little bit lucky that he gets the second opportunity to swing it back into the box. Gakpo lurking at the far post. There's a clutch of white shirts right in the centre of that penalty area, markings only. As the ball goes in towards the near post, it's Sosin who takes charge, comes back out to McAllister, and then Elliott will swing it in for a second time, and this time will be attacked by Quansah and Van Dijk. It's away by Diop this time, and then collected by Gakpo, who tries to get it into the area. Might come through to Van Dijk. There's a bit of wrestling on the edge of the box. Referee's allowed play on. Van Dijk has got it by the corner flag. It's been nabbed by Polina and then played out towards the near side. And Willian, with Liverpool a little bit misshapen and lots of green grass to run into for Decordova-Reid on the far side, but they didn't quite spot. They didn't get it to him quick enough. And then Tom Kearney collides with McAllister. The referee's pulled it back for a foul and a yellow card to the Scotsman and Fulham's captain.
Well, it's down McAllister and looks in pain, isn't he? The referee's got the yellow card out. He's told the physio to come on. And Fulham looked as if they were going to counter-attack very, very quickly. Liverpool weren't quite in the right position of where they needed to be, but clearly the referees thought that Kearney's foul on McAllister was a bad one.
We're getting a second look at it now, and it was the follow-through from Kearney, which I think the referee didn't like. I think it's probably more of a slip more than anything else.
Do you know what, Sam? It's a contact sport, and you can go in hard on tackles and people can come out of it being hurt, but it doesn't mean that's a yellow card. You know, he's gone in hard there, Tom Kearney. He's got the ball. He slipped as well. Yes, he's caught McAllister, but it's not even a foul. It's almost just play on.
The thing about it is actually it's McAllister who's going to be there late.
Yes.
Because Kearney's got there at least half a second before McAllister's even in the vicinity. He's then, as he's played the ball, slipped, and McAllister the two of them have come together.
Well, I was at the Valley last night and there was a similar one where Charlton's left back got sent off and he was the one who got there first, but because the person who got there second was rolling around, he got caught. The referee automatically thinks it's a bad tackle. The studs are up. Just got to be careful we don't almost ban tackling.
Well, he's back on his feet now, Alexis McAllister, and he'll have to go off over on the far side for 30 seconds whilst the protocols are observed. And Liverpool have got a free kick, and actually because of that incident, and us analysing that, we've failed to discuss the way that Liverpool was so high up the field and had no one anywhere within 10 yards of their own half, actually, when they won the ball back for them on this left-hand side. Decordova-Reid had made a sensational dart forward, and if anyone had been able to get that ball just high into opposition territory, Liverpool would have been in big trouble.
He made a couple of runs at Anfield, didn't he, in the first leg like that, and got himself in dangerous positions. And I think Raul Jimenez had kind of seen him, but his body shape wasn't right to try and just put it in behind the Liverpool defence. But yeah, that's absolutely a way that Fulham can get back into this game, counter-attack very quickly. They've got the pace.
Fulham 0, Liverpool 1 on TalkSport as we approach half-time. There will be a few minutes added at the end of the first half there, that is for sure. And it's going to be a throw-in on this near side for Liverpool as we approach the latter part of this first half. Out to Bradley. Bradley delivers the ball in towards the 6-yard box, cut out beautifully by Tosin once again. And Robinson can't keep hold of it in the near side, so it goes out for another throw to Liverpool, who are on the attack once more. Back it goes to Gakpo, flicks it up against Kearney, goes out and away for a goal kick on this near side because it came off Gakpo for a second time, and it's out for a throw-in, a goal kick away to our right-hand side. So we've played nearly 45 minutes on TalkSport, and I know that Marco Silva was desperate to try and get some noise and get some atmosphere inside this stadium this evening. He certainly managed to generate that. A goal would certainly do that as well, and Jimenez has got down the left-hand side, produced a cross which has eluded Pereira. It's come through to Willian. They're juggling with it inside the box but can't quite take control. Well won by Robinson, then he stabbed it down the left, but no one there is reacting to it, and Bradley will let it go out for a throw-in.
That's better from Jimenez though, wasn't it? Never gave up. Quansah trying to sort of backheel it, but won the ball back, whipped the ball in, and just for a second Liverpool's defence looked as if they were panicking a bit.
And a bloke in a puffer jacket stands up with a banner that says "Come on Fulham," and then points to his temple. I don't know what he's doing there, but he looks like he's having fun. Here's Pereira, 5 minutes of added time at the end of the first 45. Into Palhinha, lovely little back heel, which releases Castagna to run into the right channel. Well, that was a foul by McAllister, and it's going to be a free kick over on the far side. And the Fulham fans want a yellow card there. I'm not going to give that Simon Hooper, but they are going to give a set piece to Fulham, and this could be crucial. If they can make the most of this and go in level on the night at half-time, then they're giving themselves a chance.
Yeah, actually, I'm not even sure any contact was made there, but Castagna did the right thing in terms of, I think he was a little bit off balance. He went down, and you're right. You know, if they can go into half-time, you know, level on the night and just one goal behind, the whole psychology that half-time team talk changes.
Free kick far side. Andreas Pereira to take it. It's about 6 yards in from the right touchline. He delivers the ball in towards the near post. It's headed into the air by Quansah. It goes out for a corner. There's little pockets of Fulham fans that are just starting to get to their feet, starting to raise the noise again, using those clappers to generate the atmosphere. As this corner to be delivered by Pereira will come swinging into the box, an outswinger with his right foot, aimed towards the penalty spot area where Jimenez has darted out of that slot towards Diop. It goes, he rises, but it's gone back into the box again after a deflection off of a Fulham player. Tosin loses the ball, and then Liverpool look to try and counter-attack but can't do so. Forward by Robinson. Diaz went down rather cheaply and asked for a free kick which wasn't forthcoming, but the ball's been released to halfway. Darwin Nunez, a beautiful ball out towards Elliott, an even better take from Elliott on the right corner of the penalty area, cuts back in on his left foot, bends the ball to the far post, they're queuing up at the far post and Gravenberch can't get there, and nor can Darwin Nunez.
Wow, first of all, what brilliant skill from Harvey Elliott, just plucking the ball out from the air, and then he whips it in to the far post, and Gravenberch takes it off Darwin Nunez. Wonderful touch. First of all, really good crossfield pass, but brilliant touch from Harvey Elliott. Comes inside on his left foot, in swinging free kick or cross, and Gravenberch gets there. He almost needed a shout from Darwin Nunez. Just leave it. I'll try and head it at the far post.
Angle would have been tight, but he would probably have been more likely to convert that than a stretching Gravenberch, who wasn't ever going to get there and be able to pull off a shot. And he has, as you say, taken it off the Uruguayan, and a chance has gone. We played 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. 5 have been allotted, and it is Fulham 0, Liverpool 1 on Talk Sport. Back underway, St Johnstone Aberdeen in the Scottish Premiership, and we'll be underway again on Talk Sport 2 with Leeds Norwich in just a moment. Patrick Bamford's goal separating those two teams, and at this moment in time, Leeds United going to within a point of Southampton in 4th position in the Championship table. Leno kicks it long from inside his box. From right out to left, Jimenez under pressure from Bradley, manages to keep hold of the ball. Finds Willian, infield to Kearney. Kearney back to Willian again, near side on the touchline. Goes infield to Palhinha, and then Robinson back to Diop. And they need to get it forward here because there's only 1 minute and 10 seconds of added time at the end of the first half. Palhinha in the centre circle. Diop with space to run into. Plays it to Robinson, left-hand side. Into Kearney, just taking up a really good half position on that left-hand side in the channel as Robinson is allowed to run forward. Willian now has it. Back to Kearney again. Oh, it's just a bit behind him. And it runs through to Gravenberch. And it's cleared away, but the idea was right. And that's the fertile ground, isn't it, down that left-hand side where they've got so many talents. Kearney operates on that side, really. Robinson, Willian, that's their Silk Road.
It makes it a lovely little triangle, doesn't it, with those three players, and they know each other very well, you can tell, and the timing of the runs, great bit of skill there from Tom Kearney. Unfortunately for Willian, just...
Oh, Andreas Pereira, what are you doing? You're going to get yourself booked. He thought he was going to get the advantage, complained when it didn't go his way. He then got hold of the ball and he smashed the ball on the top with his fist and bounced it down in front of Simon Hooper, and Hooper has said to him, no more, you've asked me to give someone a yellow card, I let it go. You've just shown severe dissent, I've let it go. Anything else you do, you're going in the book.
He gave him the eyes as well, didn't he?
Free kick on halfway. We've played our 5 minutes of stoppage time. They'll let them take this, and that is it. So Pereira needs to deliver the ball quickly. and over the top of the defence and hope that someone can latch onto it. He drifts it towards the edge of the box. It's going to be into the arms of Keller, and that will be it for the first 45 minutes. Fulham heading for a third successive defeat, and Liverpool heading for the cup final thanks to a deflected goal from Luis Diaz, which beat Bernd Leno at his near post inside the first 12 minutes of the game. Prior to that, a golden chance for João Palhinha, which he missed just 7 yards from goal. That would have levelled the tie. It didn't. Liverpool scored at the other end, and now they're in the box seat to go to Wembley. Fulham 0, Liverpool 1 at half-time. 3-1 to the Reds on aggregate. Well, yeah, that Fulham last cup final was the 2010 Europa League final, an extra time defeat to Atletico Madrid. Roy Hodgson in charge, Danny Murphy patrolling midfield, Bobby Zamora brilliant up front, Simon Davis and Damien Duff. The hope was that this group could take them to another showpiece event, but in order to do that they have to score twice just to take us to extra time. And this is not the first time that Liverpool and Fulham have met in the Carabao Cup. It's the 6th time actually, and Liverpool have won all 6 meetings prior to tonight. Liverpool won 13-2 on aggregate over 2 legs in 1986-87, including a 10-0 home win. And the worry for Fulham is that they end up conceding more goals in the second half, because from a total of now 79 goals this season for Liverpool in all competitions, Scott, 52 of them have been scored by Liverpool in the second half. 66% of all of their goals come after half-time.
Quite scary, isn't it? And Liverpool, I have to say, I've been really impressed with them this season. You know, captain, vice-captain gone. It's very important off the field as well as on. New midfield, which is the heartbeat of the side. Well, they have been great.
And they've snatched the ball on halfway, and they've quickly released Luis Diaz down the left-hand side. He's got space to run into, comes back on his right foot, sets it back for Elliott. It's too far behind Gakpo, who scurries to receive it on the right side of the area. In the box now, tries to tee it up for Elliott, who shoots down towards the goalkeeper's right, and it misses everybody and goes wide of the post and out for a goal kick away to our left. It's just the kind of start that Fulham didn't need. Giving the ball away on halfway, Deco-Dovereed, loose pass, Tosin out of position, and then they were away.
Absolutely. And what I was going to say before that attack happened is, one thing they can't do is just literally have a high line and Liverpool to be able to go in behind. You know, they obviously have got to chase it at some point, but you've still got to be very, very clever. You know, as I say, look, you know, they're still in this tie. They get that next goal, everything changes. They concede because they're going for it too much at this moment in time. There's still plenty of time left in the tie. If they do concede, then that is tie over.
24,320 are inside the stadium here at Craven Cottage tonight, with lots of gaps on the Riverside stand opposite us, still not fully open. We mentioned earlier it's still in the outfitting stage, so they haven't done all of the concessions and all of the fitting out which needs to be done over the next 18 months. I reckon it'll be this time next year probably by the time they get it all sorted. It seems a long way away, doesn't it, really? But it looks finished, you know, from where we're seeing it looks finished. All the seats are in, but just a little bit finishing touch needs to happen.
This time next year, Rodney.
St Johnstone goal overturned by VAR. Now Aberdeen lead through a penalty from their top scorer, Bojan Miovski. That coming in the second half. St Johnstone had thought that Carey had given them the lead, but it was disallowed for offside. Ball short on halfway for Jimenez, who then tries to dig out a pass to Deco-Dovereed. No changes at half-time. Liverpool all in red, shooting towards the goal to our left, the Putney end, and Fulham in white shirts, black sleeves, black shorts and white socks attacking the Hammersmith end away to our right-hand side. They've won 2 penalty shootouts in this competition already, have Fulham, against Tottenham and against Everton. But to do that, they need to score 2 goals tonight. Here is McAllister from the pass out by Kelleher into Van Dijk. Gomez, who comes in from the left side into midfield, plays it out wide to Gravenberg, the Dutchman, who scurries upfield in Liverpool red, but runs into that brick wall, Palhinha, who adds so much steel to the midfield and beats 3 players brilliantly, including Nunez, and then elevates the ball to the far side, the left, but just a little bit too far ahead of Jimenez, and it goes out of play and out of play on the far side. He's a great player though, isn't he?
Paulinho.
Yeah,
absolutely. I saw him for Sporting for a couple of seasons. Him and Mateus Nunes in that central midfield, and actually Ruben Amorim wasn't overly unhappy with Paulinho going. He was about Nunes, but Paulinho for me has been nothing short of sensational playing for Fulham in the Premier League.
Yeah, terrific player, and he's certainly still attracting a little bit of attention, so much so that Fulham have already been on the scout for possible replacements. Here's Darwin Núñez on the left-hand side, faced up by Tosin, goes on the outside of him and doesn't manage to get past him. He then tees it up for Joe Gomez, who shoots down the middle of the Fulham goal, but over the top of the crossbar, and it's out and away for a goal kick. He's going to score.
We'll take that, João Gomez.
Yes, I didn't call him João Gomez. It's Joe Gomez. I mean, it was more like João Gomez than Joe Gomez, to be honest with you. 236 games without a goal, and he's already come close twice tonight.
Do you know what? It's a couple of times now he's able to come inside on his right foot, and well, that one's probably 10 yards over, but it will come.
Yeah, before the end of the season, I'm going to bet you.
The problem he's got is that Andy Robertson is coming
back now, so that'll be it. Ball has dropped for Gakpo. Diop manages to nudge the ball clear. It's picked up by Robinson over on the far side. And Liverpool Fulham come down the left-hand side with Willian, who gets to the edge of the area, feeds Cordova-Reid. He's on the right side of the box, a right-footed shot, and it's stopped by Gomez and then cleared away by Diaz, and it's out for a corner. And this is what they need. They need to raise the temperature. They need to raise the intensity in this game if they're to have any chance.
Absolutely, good play from Willian. You know, Cordova-Reid didn't really move the ball at all, so in the end Gomez didn't have to do too much, but that's what you got with a centre-half playing left-back. Yeah. Very, very good player.
Absolutely right. He didn't move the ball hardly at all to give himself the angle to sweep the ball goalwards and manipulate the player. The ball in by Pereira through the penalty area, over the head of Diop, and goes out the other side. Willian has got it, comes in on his right foot. He's drilled shot, doesn't reach the edge of the box because it's cleared away. And then there's a chance now for Liverpool to counter-attack. Robinson and Núñez in a foot race. Robinson's fast, very fast, and he's got in front of Núñez and done brilliantly and brought the ball clear for Fulham. 1-0. Away by Leno, up high into the night sky. Underneath it was Jarell Kansar. But Luis Diaz has collected it and then decided to dart down the left channel. He gets right up to the edge of the box, then goes on the outside, produces a cross into the centre, and then a karate kick from Gakpo. Tried to nudge it goalwards. It took a little flick off his toe and goes behind and away for a goal kick.
Yeah, really good play from Luis Diaz, getting the ball down the left-hand side and then going at Castagne one-on-one, who actually gets a bit of a deflection, and I've almost pulled my hamstring just watching Gakpo there, sticking his leg so far in the air.
Wow. It's a bit Cobra Kai, that, wasn't it? Here is Willian, lovely touch into Tom Kearney, who sprints up over the halfway line, down the side of the centre circle. He feeds Jimenez. Jimenez's cross. It's over the head of Cordova-Reid. Gomez manages to head it clear. Cordova-Reid keeps it moving and keeps Fulham on the front foot. 1-0. Liverpool lead here. 3-1 on aggregate, the score in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. And it is a game which will lead to Wembley and a date with Chelsea at the end of February, live on TalkSport. Kearney under pressure from Gakpo, comes through past McAllister. McAllister then puts it out. Well, there's a foul over on the far side, which is going to go in favour of Fulham, and it's going to generate a free kick for a tackle on Kearney, 2 yards in from the left touchline.
Yeah, and after that initial poor first minute of the second half, Fulham again showing a lot of character, trying to take it to Liverpool. And look, it's happened now, but it's such a shame that mistake from Bernd Leno. Is a really good goalkeeper. You know, this tie would be so exciting. I mean, it is a really good game, but you still feel until Fulham get that goal and go just one goal behind, you know, Liverpool have got them at arm's length.
It's taken short by Pereira into Kearney. He runs the ball towards goal and gets it back off Willian, and it's still very tight over on the far side. No one's elevated the ball into the box. That is now done. Tosin wins a header. It drops down. It's loose in the box. Pereira's got there. It's stopped by Quansah on the line. And now Liverpool counter-attack at the other end. And Núñez is running through the left channel. He's got Luis Diaz to his right. He's got Elliott on the edge of the area. His right-footed shot. Saved down low by Leno and pushed out to the far side. What a passage of football. Still Liverpool have it. McAllister in towards the edge of the box. Right footed drills a shot towards the far corner, narrowly wide.
What a game of football. What a game of football. And fair play to Fulham. They're just not giving up. They will give it right to the very, very end. Tosin gets ahead of Kelleher. I don't know if this is a clearance or actually it's the post.
It's the post. Quensar was the closest to it. He got back really well, actually. But it's definitely a post. It's the woodwork for Fulham.
I tell you what, I'm not quite sure Quensar would have got there either if it had been just inside the post. And then Liverpool go down the other end. And Darwin Núñez, well, he gave it to the third option. He had two different options, and then he delayed it. Gave it to Harvey Elliott, whose shot was saved in the end. But as I say, what a game of football we got.
Well, Liverpool should have killed it there and then.
Should have done, would have done.
He held on to it just a little bit too long, Darwin Núñez. Jurgen Klopp has pulled his snood up over his mouth. Looks a little bit like 2020 at the moment there with covering his nose as well. He knows that was a big chance for his team to seal a place at Wembley. Elliott wins the ball off Decordova-Reid in the middle of the park, just short of the halfway line, left side Gravenberch. Then all the way to Gomez, who sees it to his goalkeeper Kelleher, and Liverpool will build from the back once again. 55 on the clock, and it's been a really entertaining game, but Liverpool so far in command. Castagna to Polinia up towards Kearney, who allows it to run. Jimenez then just lifts it towards the right side. It's not heavy enough for Pereira to get there, and Gomez will just allow that to go out of play.
Yeah, again, really good defending from Gomez. The ball was overplayed, but still, he's just got such great athleticism. But still, Fulham knocking at the door. Good passing, good incisive passing, 1-2 touch play.
And looking at the door frame as well. Here Andreas Pereira. Doesn't open that way, fella. Here is Luis Diaz. It was a tight angle for him. But I think Pereira, when he looks back at that chance, will think he should have scored.
Well, again, if you're going to get back in the tie where a game against Liverpool, they are where they are in the Premier League. They're 3-1 up on aggregate. We talked about the Polinia chance in the first half. You quite simply have to put the ball in the back of the net.
It's two big chances on the night that they haven't taken, and it remains 1-0 to Liverpool and 3-1 on aggregate. They never got to a League Cup final before. They've reached two major finals in their history. The other one, apart from that Europa League final of 2010, was the 1975 FA Cup final. Bobby Moore playing for Fulham against West Ham. Here is Tosin onto the halfway line. He tries to release Jimenez, who gives it away again. It comes back to Polinia, and then Diop takes over. Out to the wide left and Anthony Robinson, who clips the ball forward, up high, down toward the left-hand side. And then eventually the ball is out of play, and it's a throw-in. Anthony Robinson, who has been linked actually with a move to Liverpool. I don't think that's going to happen in the January transfer window. He is in the form of his career. It's 4 years now since he failed a medical at AC Milan, and he was the subject of a £13 million transfer. He was expected to go to Milan, but he had an irregular heartbeat in the medical, and that move collapsed as a result.
Well, if there is another medical, you'd have thought they'd say, well, it's been pretty good since then.
Here on the right side, Castagna moves up towards the edge of the penalty area, a low ball in towards the near post, and then Gravenberch half gets it away, and then they give it back to Pereira, who couldn't keep it under control, and then Luis Diaz manages to skip past the challenge of Polinia, who did go through him, but he bounced back up like a jack in the box. Luis Diaz scurries towards the edge of the penalty area, onto Núñez, curls it towards the far corner. It's a terrific save by Leno, who goes to his left, sprawls towards that far post, and touches it round it with the fingertips to save Fulham.
First of all, wonderful skill from Luis Diaz, really was. He could have stayed down, he didn't. He got up, passed the ball out to Darwin Núñez, and the shot wasn't on. Somehow he's got it around Tosin, but Bernd Leno, what a save. I mean, massive mistake for the goal, but he's kept his club in this tie with that.
That's a great save, that. He had to make it because we were behind the shot. It was going into the bottom corner.
Brilliant, wasn't it?
It was arcing off the right foot at a 45-degree angle, round the defender and into the far corner. Here's the corner that comes in towards the near post. It's headed away by Robinson. Not a great delivery, that, from McAllister. 1-0 to Liverpool. And they've had chances too. McAllister tries to go beyond Robinson, who holds him up well, does brilliantly. Then McAllister wins it back in the right wing position, turns the ball into the box and took too many touches, and Polina was there to stop him. There's a penalty at Stamford Bridge. Get there in just a second. Gravenberch in towards the near post. Tosin heads it away. Willian on the edge of the area. He's given the ball away to Gakpo. Still Liverpool on the attack here. It's towards Diaz. Edge of the 18-yard box. On to Gakpo. Gakpo to centre it. At the far post is Quansah. He heads it down and backwards. And it's picked up by Diaz, who turns it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Darwin Núñez again. On towards Diaz. Back to Elliott, left side. Across comes Decordova-Reid and puts it out for a throw. So off the Stamford Bridge we go, and Ian Abrahams.
2 gone, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid nil. Guru Wrighton from the spot after Niamh Charles have been pulled down inside the penalty area. Emma Hayes' side are finally in front and looking at qualification. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid nil.
Be a big result that for Emma Hayes and Chelsea if they can get through to the latter stages of the Champions League. They lead by a goal to nil. Guru Wrighton is a terrific player. Scores the goal that puts Chelsea in front. 1-0 there, 1-0 here. Just a few miles down the road. 2.6 miles I think it is. 3 if you go the long route. And
you'll be running it tomorrow, won't you?
I can't go outside anymore since I broke the back. I fell over, didn't I? Too old for that now. Got to be sensible and do it inside. Here is Virgil van Dijk under pressure from Decordova-Reid in the left full-back position. Kicks it long, Virgil van Dijk, but it's cut out by Tosin. Oh dear, he's just held his hamstring as he's kicked that ball clear, Tosin Adarabioyo. I hope that's just a little whack and nothing more significant than that. He will not want a hamstring injury at this stage of the season, especially bearing in mind that he is the subject of interest from people like AC Milan.
Did you say he's got 6 months left on his contract?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a gamble. I mean, I've done it a few times, and sometimes you just got to say to yourself, well, this is what I believe I want to do, but it's definitely a gamble.
Yeah, he's not moving freely at all, is he? Tosin Adarabioyo. Rangers go 3-0 up. Dessers with the latest of their trio of goals against Hibernian in Edinburgh tonight. Ball flown out by Gravenberch towards the far side. What a touch that is by Elliott once again. He brings the ball down on his left thigh, then moves up towards the edge of the area, cuts it back to Bradley. Back down the right, Bradley goes to Gakpo, who's moved into an advanced area. He's tackled by Robinson, who's done well to hold him off and turn him back centrally. He exchanges passes with Diaz, and then it comes through to Gravenberch, edge of the area, very congested. But if Fulham can get out here, there's a chance to break. Kearney tries to nudge it on, couldn't find his intended target, and Elliott's got it back again, and Gravenberch has left it for Diaz, edge of the D. He's weaved past Polina. It's all very tight and very scrappy on the edge of the box. They've spread it wide to Darwin Núñez. He's on the left side for Liverpool. Plays it infield. McAllister didn't realise that Jimenez was coming from behind. He's robbed the ball, and there's a real knot of players in the middle of the park that look like they're playing Twister, and eventually the referee says, let's stop, give a free kick to Fulham and start again.
A good description, a knot of players. Obviously that's where the people want to grab hold of the midfield and control the tempo of the game. As I say, it's just it's toing and throwing, and still Fulham need that goal.
Yeah, they do. They need 2. Otherwise they're going out, and Liverpool are going to Wembley. And Liverpool like their trips to Wembley, don't they? Especially when they play Chelsea. They've won the last 2 cup finals against them that they've played there. Here's Núñez down the left side trying to get into the box. It was given to Elliott, but I think there was a foul on Castagna prior to that. St Johnstone 1, Aberdeen 1. David Keitons with the goal, and that's with 12 minutes to go there. Chelsea women 1, Real Madrid women 0 in the Champions League group stage. Chelsea heading through with that victory, and Leeds still leading Norwich by a goal to 0 on TalkSport 2 tonight. And TalkSport 2's got so much live sport for you over the next couple of weeks. If you haven't downloaded our app, just go to the App Store or the Google Play Store, download it for free, and you can flick between all our stations, including TalkSport, TalkSport 2, and even Virgin Radio, where Chris Evans is available at breakfast. Given away by Fulham on the edge of their own box, and Núñez tries to turn and shoot towards the far corner. Oh, it wasn't far away. It really wasn't far away, and it was so quick and sharp from Liverpool after being gifted the ball back on the edge of the box.
It's where they're good, Liverpool, isn't it? You know, people turn around and say, well, you know, get rid of it, or you can't lose it there, but the pressing is so good, and he just twists and turns and he almost gets too much whip on it, going at the keeper beaten, and so was the post.
This game is being played at a really fast pace, isn't it?
It's incredibly fit, how fit the players are nowadays. It really is.
So brisk.
They're athletes first and foremost.
As you were back in your day.
Back in my day, it was playing football. If you can run, that's good. Now, if you can't run, you haven't got a chance. How good you are.
Here is Gomez going through the centre. Adrian just raised his eyebrows, by the way, when he said that.
Oh no, Michael Owen said it actually recently, didn't he?
He did, actually. Looks like it's going to be a substitution over on the far side. Harry Wilson getting ready for a bit of action. Former Liverpool player, of course, Harry Wilson. Robinson has it left side. Moves up towards the midpoint of the Fulham half, but it's given straight away to Bradley, and then Bradley didn't see Polina coming. Everyone else did. It came like a steam train right through the middle, nabbed the ball and sent it out towards the far side.
If this is at Anfield, they'd have let him know, but everyone kept quiet there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Cottage.
Here he comes. That's a Fulham ball. Here's Van Dijk. On halfway is Gomez. It's Liverpool who lead by a goal to nil, 3-1 aggregate, and their history in this competition is really rich. It felt like at the beginning of the 80s there was almost a preserve of the Reds to be lifting the trophy. They did so in 4 consecutive years, from 81 to 84. They went to the final again and lost narrowly to Arsenal in 87, beat Bolton in 1995 as the offside flag goes up against Gakpo. And then they won it twice in the first decade of the new century. Another goal at Stamford Bridge in Abrahams.
It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Real Madrid have equalised. Anthony is the person who's put the ball in the net. It was a good run down the right-hand side. Hannah Hampton got a Palmer shot, and it was steered in the rebound. Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 1.
Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 1 down at Stamford Bridge in the Champions League, and it's 1-0 here. Here, Fulham have the ball just short of the halfway line. Willian nudged to the floor by Bradley, free kick. And then Marco Silva, again, come on, get going, move things quickly. Let's keep the tempo high. That's what he wants.
Absolutely, that's what he's got to do. It's the only way when Liverpool play at a high tempo, but Fulham have to as well.
Pereira, plays the ball down the right-hand side, but he just got it wrong. He just overcooked it to such an extent that from the minute it left his boot, it was heading behind the goal away to our right-hand side, and everyone knew it.
Yeah, and the problem with trying to play at a really high tempo is when you make that pass, you need to slow yourself down, and he just didn't do that. It was a simple pass for him, completely overplayed.
It's Decord over Reed, who's coming off, and I think it's Harry Wilson who's coming on. And then 2 changes for Liverpool, and I think it's Darwin Nunez who is coming off, and I think, is it Alexis McAllister who's coming off as well? Yeah, McAllister and Nunez off, and just because Marco Silva obviously isn't, I mean, if you imagine being Marco Silva now, you're going for it, you need 2 goals, you look up, Liverpool making a couple of changes, they take off McAllister, a World Cup winner, and Darwin Nunez, and they bring on Curtis Jones, who's been arguably one of Liverpool's best players over the last couple of months, and Jota. Goal at Chelsea in Abrahams.
Chelsea 2, Real Madrid 1, and this time Chelsea back in front. It was a ball from the right-hand side. It was palmed into their own net, I think, by the goalkeeper. I'll clear it up. I think it's an own goal from her, but it's certainly Chelsea 2. In fact, it's gone down to Erin Cuthbert, the goal. It's Chelsea 2, Real Madrid 1.
Scotland international Erin Cuthbert putting Chelsea back in front and in command at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool in command here and bringing Jota and Jones onto the field of play. Jota gets clattered by Diop with his first touch of the ball, but it's still in Liverpool's possession. It goes up towards the right side, and Elliott, and then he guides it back to Curtis Jones away to our right hand side. What did you make of those comments about Curtis Jones yesterday from Pep Lijnders, saying that he should be in the England squad?
I think that's a very difficult position to come into, but if he carries on doing what he's doing and Liverpool win trophies come the end of the season and he's playing as well as he's playing right now, there's every chance he could nick in. At this moment in time, I wouldn't call it, but there's a long way to go between now and the end of the season.
We mentioned it during the first leg, actually, because, I mean, basically because he's playing so well, but also because England have a little bit of a vacancy in that area with Calvin Phillips not playing too much football. Here is Diaz on the right side of the area trying to feed Elliott on the edge of the box. It goes back to Jones, who releases Jota, who tries to turn inside the D, but Palini is not going to allow him to do that. He tries to bring it clear, commits a foul, Jones, as he tries to win it back, and it's going to be a free kick to Fulham just short of their own penalty area left-hand side.
The only thing I'd say to that is, Gareth Southgate has had Calvin Phillips in his squad, saying there's not many people who can play in the way that Phillips does. Well, Curtis Jones definitely doesn't play in the way that Phillips does. So,
but Liverpool, I mean, look, he plays in a variety of different positions. He actually can play in multiple positions, Curtis Jones, and he has proved that playing for the England under-21s.
Absolutely. Is he good enough? Yes, he's proving to be, and he's proven to be one of the major players for a club like Liverpool, which is great. Do I think that Calvin Phillips should be in the squad, that there's only him who can play that role? No, I'm not so sure.
Harry Wilson trying to get in behind the Liverpool defence, just a little bit too heavy for him, runs off his toe and goes behind the way for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. 69 on the clock, Fulham 0, Liverpool 1, and a big 21 minutes coming the way of Fulham Football Club. Not quite their season in 21 minutes, Scott, because they've still got the FA Cup to play against Newcastle live on TalkSport on Saturday evening. But at this moment in time, this is a great chance. They've got to try and take an opportunity that gives them a chance. Here's Diaz getting away from Tosin, though, a little bit too easily. It comes on the edge of the box, and Diaz and Paulinho gives it away. It comes back to Gravenberch, who shoots from the edge of the D, and it's down to the goalkeeper's right, and it wasn't too far away from Ryan Gravenberch.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. And you're saying about Fulham have got to try and give it their all tonight. That's exactly what they're doing. They're playing at full throttle. They really are. They're just up against one of the best sides in the country, if not Europe, right now. They're giving it their all, but of course there are going to be chances against them as well. Now is getting to the point where they do have to really go for it, and it will start to open up. I still expect a goal, but I'm just not sure which end it will go in.
I can't
more than likely for Liverpool.
I can't believe how well Liverpool have done, actually, to rebuild this group and maintain such a challenge on all four fronts this season.
Incredible. And they won't want to talk about it. It wasn't that long ago where the quadruple was possibly on. A different type of quadruple, obviously, being in the Europa League now, but still it is incredible. It really is.
Diogo Jota and Issa Diop having a heated conversation, which Simon Hooper has gone to mediate.
If Jota has any sense, he'll be peacemaker within that as well.
He'll go over towards the other side. And they're still having a little running battle, those two. Keep an eye on that, as Diaz tries to win the ball from the throw-in, but Robinson turns it over. Kearney now trying to take it to halfway, and then the ball goes out and away for a throw-in over on the far side to Liverpool. Liverpool won this trophy as recently as 2022. That was the year that they went so close in to winning 4 competitions. They almost won the Champions League final. They almost won the league that year as well. They did win the FA Cup final and the League Cup final.
2 games away, weren't they?
Yep. I think they would like to get to a final and not end up going to penalties. That was the case in both those finals in 2022. I'm just in a little replay of that Diogo Jota Diop confrontation, where Diop grabs him round the neck and tries to drag him out of position.
Did he get a step ladder to do it?
He's just bent down quite low because he is huge in comparison to Diogo Jota. Here on the left-hand side, the ball is with Willian. Willian now moving up towards an advanced position, towards the edge of the penalty area. He pokes it through towards that 18-yard box where Kearney was patrolling, but he couldn't get it out to Robinson because there was a clutch of red shirts just blocking his progress. Tosin has it and drives it forward into Jimenez, who keeps hold of it, pokes it back, gives it to Paulinho, who floats it out towards the near side, chested down by Castagna in the right wing position, drills the ball towards the edge of the box, comes back to Paulinho, whose shot takes a deflection, and Kelleher manages to get across because that deflection actually took the sting out of a shot that didn't carry as much venom as it probably needed to do if it was going to trouble the goalkeeper.
No, because it was kind of bouncing and it was on the 18, 20 yards out. It felt like he had to side foot it. Once you side foot it, you lose. Side foot it to get precision, but you lose pace and power in that.
And Tosin seems to have recovered from that injury problem that he was complaining about, as Gomez plays it forward in towards Elliott, who's in the half position between the right side of the midfield and the inside right position. He gives it wide, gets it back off Bradley, and then it's with Curtis Jones. to Virgil van Dijk. Leeds 1, Norwich 0 with 5 minutes to go in the Championship on TalkSport 2. Hibernian 0, Rangers 3 as they look to close the gap in the top of the table to Celtic. They've got, and did have before tonight, 2 games in hand over Celtic. Here is Jota to Gomez. Infield it goes to Jones and then back to Luis Diaz. Jones again piles it back to Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool don't have to rush the issue, but they have been playing at such a pace. Gomez runs into Palhinha. Palhinha a little bit late, might have been a coming together, but the free kick has gone Liverpool's way.
Well, it's a definite foul. Just a couple of things on that. One, Gomez almost coming inside like we've seen with Arsenal's Zinchenko. Gomez is coming inside as acting as like a central midfielder, able to turn on the ball. He actually overplayed it with a touch there, but just got in front of Palhinha. Palhinha thought lucky not to get a yellow card.
Rodrigo Muniz is coming off the bench for Fulham, and so I think it's Kenny Tete as well. Here is Luis Diaz on the left-hand side for Liverpool as they go on the attack once again. Their next goal, if they were to get it, would be a killer one. That's too high for Gakpo, and it's out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. So 16 minutes to go, Fulham 0, Liverpool 1, final 15 minutes. And remember, I told you that Liverpool scored 79 goals this season, 52 in the second half. Well, get this, out of those 52 second half goals, 29 of them have come in the last 15 minutes of games.
Wow, you're going to break that down in the last 5 minutes then, and then in injury time.
All right, Scott, don't be demanding.
Very good.
Here is Wilson down the right-hand side. Do you know what? I didn't believe it when I first saw it today, so I went back and counted all the goals.
I'm sure you did.
I actually did. How sad is that? It took me about 20 minutes.
That's why they pay you the big bucks.
Yeah. All right. Here's Willian down the left-hand side. What, counting?
Wilson, not your money.
Wilson back to Kearney over on the far side. Robinson, infield it goes, and he tries to turn Kearney, and he gets pulled to the floor, and that's a free kick. 15 minutes to go.
I tell you what, a goal in the next 5 minutes just make things really interesting. As I say, they've absolutely given it a all against the top-class side, playing really good football at the moment, and yet they've not given up. Just the difference in the game tonight has been that goalkeeper mistake. It's a real shame it's happened, but it's happened. They can score now, just 1 goal away.
Well, still Tete and Muniz are waiting over on the far side to come on, but they'll wait till after this free kick has been taken. Kearney and Pereira standing over it. It's 10 yards outside the box, wide on the left-hand side. It'll be drifted in by Kearney, aiming towards Diop and Tosing. It comes back to Willian, edge of the area. They try to keep it alive, and well, Diop went down there, and it did look for all the world that was sort of a heavy-handed challenge, but he got back up so quickly and didn't appeal himself that it seems unlikely. Wilson gets in behind Bradley, inside the area, takes a deflection, it's in, they're backing it now, and we could have our grandstand finished. Harry Wilson's run down the left-hand side, got the better of Conor Bradley, ball into the near post, took a deflection off Diop, and went beyond the goalkeeper and in, and Fulham are within 1 goal of Liverpool with 14 minutes to go.
14 minutes plus injury time, and that can be 6 or 7 as well. And look around the cottage, and banners and flags are flying, signs of goal. This tie has suddenly got even more interesting. It's been a great to and fro, I have to say, as a game. But now, Fulham very much in this.
I couldn't quite work out which body part of Issa Diop that came off, but it came off something, and he won't care. The top of his thigh, possibly. He took a deflection off Quansah, which diverted it towards the 6-yard box, and that then cannoned off Diop, and now Fulham have got a lifeline. Here is Pereira chipping the ball to the left-hand side. Willian has made a dart forward. It's a good substitution from Marco Silva, because it's Harry Wilson and his aggressive running which certainly caused the problems. Willian thought he was fouled. Referee didn't give it. Picked up by Liverpool now, and it's with Cody Gakpo. He stumbles to the ground. Jota picks up the pieces. He runs towards the goal away to our left. There's a foul there by Diop. Free kick, yellow card.
Oh, what a game. And it's almost a bit old school, isn't it, the way the tackles are flying in now. I think Paulinho actually tried to rugby tackle McAllister there. But, I mean, I think you're slightly harsh on Jota, it was, actually. Slightly harsh in the way you sort of said it cannoned off Diop. I think he reacted really well to that.
Do you?
I do. I think he almost moved his thigh towards it.
Accomplished finish from Issa Diop.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. Do it like that. Well, certainly he's been in the thick of the action. And he got the final touch as it came scooting across goal. And he scores to make it 1-1 on the night and 3-2 on aggregate to Liverpool with 12 minutes to go. It's not over. It's not over yet. Elliott places the ball down 12 yards back from the edge of the 18-yard box. There's Liverpool go on the attack. That's what it's been like all night, by the way. You attack, then we'll have a go. Elliott, left-footed, chips the ball over the top of the defence, aims towards Van Dijk. Across the 6-yard box it goes. It's half cleared by Fulham. Comes back to Elliott, edge of the area. His volley is not great and goes wide of the left-hand upright.
I tell you what, how exciting is this now? Fans right behind the team, and the players suddenly, they were looking just a little bit tired, albeit giving their all. Now there's an extra spring in their step.
Harry Wilson picks the ball up, darts towards the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed shot. Oh, Kelleher's just about got there. Well, he went down to his right, and it looked like it was going to escape underneath him. But he just about got enough on the ball. The fizzing shot from the boot of Harry Wilson, the Welsh wizard. And it was spooned behind by Kelleher for a corner. Rangers have beaten Hibernian in Scotland 3-0. Here's the corner in front of the Hammersmith end. Pereira to take it. A right-footed delivery in towards the near post, headed away by Gravenberg. Loose on the edge of the box for Willian, who recycles it to the left. Pereira gets it onto his right foot, delivers a ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box, which is cleared by Quansah, and then Jota, threatening to escape, is stopped by the Jedi Robinson.
Don't lose it there. I mean, Anthony Robinson did so well. There were 3 Liverpool players, and he went in for the tackle. He won it. He handed it back into the midfield. I'm thinking, do not lose it there.
Jimenez, who's about to be replaced, I think, just tries to juggle the ball inside the box. It comes back towards Kearney. He can't connect with it. Jones gets it back to Quansah, and all of a sudden Liverpool look a little bit as if they're scrapping to get the ball away from their goal.
Something about playing against your old club, isn't it? Harry Wilson has been absolutely superb since he's come on.
Liverpool, who were in command but never in complete control, now find themselves under the cosh. Ball delivered towards Robinson. Robinson goes up with Kelleher, and the two meet just in front of the 6-yard box as the ball is elevated high into the Fulham penalty box, and it's stopped by Kelleher.
Well, he was making a Ben Chilwell run there, wasn't he, the left back? And Raul Jimenez had about 3 players around him in the box. Very difficult. And this, the cottage, completely different now from 10 minutes ago.
Well, they've seen some famous nights here before. Hamburg, Juventus, Bologna, Derby. Is another one in the offing. Willian over on the far side, trying to send the ball centrally to Wilson. Van Dijk comes across and manages to clear. Quansah further away. They'll be met by Castagna, who's coming in from the right full-back into the middle of the park to win the ball. And then Diop spreads it wide, and there's a chance here for Pereira to get a fizzing ball through the 6-yard box, and no one's there to finish it off. It was a brilliant delivery. It's gone right through the other side. Willian trying to escape past Elliott. Elliott stops him. Bradley combines with him, and Liverpool now get it clear towards the halfway line. But they can't get out at this moment in time, Liverpool. They cannot escape. There's no route.
Fulham have been superb, you have to say. Going down 1-0 and 3-1 on aggregate very early on, yet they've never given up. And what a ball that was from Pereira. Whipped in. If only someone could have read that. Would have ended up being a simple tap-in, 6 yards out.
Rodrigo Muniz for Pereira. Kenny Tete for Castagna. The two changes as Marco Silva rolls the dice. One more time. Liverpool making changes as well. And they're taking off Cody Gakpo and Harvey Elliott, I think. Well, actually, they put 18 for 19, which is not really going to work. They're taking off Tom Kearney and brought on Harrison Reed as well here, Fulham. And We'll wait and see who's coming off for Liverpool. It is Cody Gakpo's coming off. And on comes Konate. And the other change is Gravenberg, who comes off, and Bobby Clark, who comes on into the middle of midfield.
It's going to be very interesting to see the system.
Yeah.
Well, we've got three centre-halves.
Three centre-halves, well, four really with Gomez on as well, and Conor Bradley. So maybe I think they are going to play three centre-halves.
I think Gomez is playing like a left wing-back now.
Yeah, and it'll be Bradley playing right wing-back. And they're trying to stiffen it up because they know that, they can't afford to concede another goal. Diaz runs down towards the corner flag. Kenny Tete gets there first, but the offside flag is up anyway over on the far touchline. Well, Bobby Clark came off the bench and showed a bit of nous against Arsenal. He's the son of the ex-Fulham midfielder Lee Clark. There might be divided loyalties in that household tonight. Not many, actually. I'm sure Lee Clark thinks, come on, I want my son to do well. Even though it's my former club.
Blood's always thicker than water.
Tosin. Up into the centre circle. Good movement by Wilson, who then tries to curl it out to the left-hand side and almost found Robinson. Didn't quite, was cut out. Bradley comes forward. It runs through to Bobby Clark, who holds it well and then loses out to Willian. Willian gets past one challenge and then Bradley is there with a stonking effort. Wilson goes in with a sliding tackle, gets the ball back to the 18-yard box and Tosin sends it towards the goalkeeper. What a great game.
Brilliant. It's got a little bit of everything, it really has. Old school tackling, great technique, goals. Fans are loving it.
Leeds about to be victorious on TalkSport 2. 7th minute of injury time there. It's 1-0 to Leeds. We've got 5 minutes to go at the end of this game. And it's still in the balance because Liverpool's lead is now just 1 goal. It is slender, and if Fulham score, we'll have extra time. Here is Wilson trying to help it on. He got a whack from Gomez. It's a little bit late on Jota. The ball's spilt into the Liverpool half and Diaz will take it on, but Tete gets back, thunders into a challenge and puts it out for a throw-in.
You know what, can I just give a bit of credit to Simon Hooper, the referee? I think he's allowed a lot of tackles going on. It's been a really honest game. When he's had to give a yellow card, he has. And even just then, could have given a foul, but he just waited a couple of seconds to see if Liverpool can have the advantage, and they did.
I've been saying it for a while. I think he's one of the best referees in the league.
He's been really good tonight, really good. And look, referees get a lot of stick, and sometimes rightly so, and we should praise them when they've done well.
Fulham 1, Liverpool 1 on the night. 3-2 to Liverpool on aggregate. A throw into Liverpool down by the corner flag away to our left-hand side. Tossed in towards Jota. Jota back to Ibu Konate. He was so good in that first half in the game down at the Vitality Stadium on Sunday afternoon. He telegraphs his pass out to Bradley. It's finished at Ellen Road. And Leeds have beaten Norwich by 1-0. Norwich, who started the day in 8th position, stay there. And Leeds, who closed the gap on Southampton to a point now, they're in 4th. Southampton in 3rd, Ipswich in 2nd, and Leicester top the pile with a 7-point advantage. Rangers have beaten Hibs tonight. St Johnstone and Aberdeen have shared the spoils. It means that the gap to Celtic is 5 points at the top of the table. Celtic 5 points clear, but Rangers have a game in hand. And Aberdeen go up into 7th above Dundee. And St Johnstone 10th position for them, trying to keep away from that relegation zone. I think that goal that was given initially to Erin Cuthbert has been given to Chavas of Real Madrid, and Chelsea still lead that by 2 goals to 1 going into stoppage time there. Here we've got 2.5 minutes still to play live on TalkSport tonight, and it's Fulham 1, Liverpool 1, and Fulham trying to conjure a goal that would make this an epic night by the river. Ball cleared by Kelleher, deep into Fulham's half of the field. Kenny Tete watched it go out of play. It's away for a throw. Tete He's wearing gloves tonight on what is not a very chilly evening. Throws it in towards the halfway line. Nunez tries to get there, away by Virgil van Dijk. Back to Kenny Tete again, who shins the ball into the sky. It drops for Nunez, who heads the ball on. And Jimenez didn't quite make it, and it comes back to Luis Diaz. Diaz trying to find Elliott in towards Jota. Jota in behind, brings it down, tries to steer it past the goalkeeper, who smothered him very quickly. He's so quick off his line there, Leno, that Jota couldn't get his shot away.
Yeah, it was actually some really good touches from Jota, but once he got past one, there was another defender, then the keeper as well.
Wilson trying to get on the end of a crossfield ball by Robinson. Van Dijk away. Robinson does well, plays it against Bradley, gets a throw in far side. They know that time is running out, 90 seconds of normal time to play. Liverpool going to the cup final as it stands at this moment in time. 14 Premier League games unbeaten, 5 points clear at the top of the table. Europa League last 16 to come, and if they hold on here, they'll be going to the Carabao Cup final. Not bad at all.
It's amazing, Liverpool, as good as they are, as dominant as they've been at the top of the league, 5-4-1, sitting in there.
Don't lose very often. Here is Tete into the box, Konate away, good strong header by him. Tete trying to win it in a duel on this near side with Diaz. It comes through to Wilson, who pops it brilliantly into Palhinha, who finds Tete inside the box, steers it back, Nunez falls over Palhinha. Well, I'm not sure what he was trying to do. I think that was a shot, but if it was, it's gone out for a throw-in 10 yards from the corner flag.
It was a shot. A great play again from Wilson, just a flick inside. And they almost created another opportunity. As I say, Liverpool are 5-4-1. They're on the back foot. They're trying to see the game out. They're waiting for the fourth official to see how many minutes will be left. I wouldn't say they're hanging on in there, but they're on the ropes.
Marco Silva is patrolling that technical area. He knows that the seconds are ticking away. He knows that the chance of silverware is falling away. But the Fulham fans, I think, will be pleased with the way that their team has adapted, despite the fact of a concession of that early goal. Robinson down the left, 4 minutes of added time. Robinson with a lash out at Bradley, who blocked his path, and it's going to be a free kick in the right full-back position. And now there's just 4 minutes of added time to play here. It has finished at Chelsea in Abrahams.
Chelsea 2, Real Madrid 1, all goals in 8 minutes. Brighton penalty, a goal by Cuthbert winning under the goalkeeper, and then a goal for Real Madrid in between. But Chelsea win the group and qualify. Chelsea 2, Real Madrid 1.
Congratulations to Emma Hayes and to Chelsea, who at Stamford Bridge have 2 back-to-back victories in 2 nights, which will please the club.
Indeed.
And Chelsea's home form has been particularly good over the last month and a half.
Let's hope the men's side get into the Champions League soon.
Ball placed down the right-hand side for Bobby Clark to chase and forage in towards the right corner flag as Liverpool just try and drag the ball away from goal as far as possible.
I'm surprised it's only 4 minutes, Sam, I've got to be honest. There hasn't been a lot of injuries, but there have been a lot of substitutions.
It was 5 at the end of the first half, wasn't there?
It's the lowest I've seen for a long time at the end of a game.
I'm sure that they'd spend their time calculating it, but, you know, it doesn't. It's never going to make sense to us because we're not there working it out. Sometimes you just have to have a little bit of trust, Scott.
Need you counting.
Ball's loose on the left-hand side. Won by Jones, who nods it forward for Liverpool, who are about to go to a 14th EFL Cup final. And Fulham, who've never been to one before, are just seeing their dream die a little bit here. Dare to Dream was the banner away to our right-hand side at the beginning of the game. I tell you what, when Palhinha has that chance, God, there'll be 1 or 2 dreaming that went in the back of the net.
They might just have one more. That's all they want. Just a few minutes left, still time.
One last chance. That's what the Fulham fans are saying to their team. Give us one last chance. Harrison Reed on halfway. On to Wilson. Infield it goes. Liverpool defending very well now. They've just started to keep them at arm's length. But is there one in the locker here from Palhinha, who gets pushed by Guanso, and then Wilson, I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to do because he was a little bit heavy-handed with that, and he's pushed it straight out of play and away for a goal kick away to our right.
Well, look, I've been praising the referee. I thought that was a foul, actually, but, it wasn't a an obvious one, so fair play for letting it run. I don't know what you say what Wilson was trying to do there. Gave the ball away.
One defeat in 16 games for Liverpool. And that was a dead rubber against Union Saint-Gilloise. They know how not to get beat, that's for sure. Ball cleared by Kelleher. And remember, there's no Mo Salah, no Trent Alexander-Arnold, no Andy Robertson, no Wataru Endo, who had become actually really important to them patrolling in front of that back four.
There's a conversation to have one time about Conor Bradley as well and his role going forward. Could he be the right back that actually lets Trent be a midfielder?
Definitely a conversation for some point, but maybe not now with 30 seconds of stoppage time to go. Reed on the hunt. One more opportunity needs to be crafted if Fulham are going to give themselves hope in the Carabao Cup. Next goal, if they score it, will take us to extra time. And we wouldn't mind seeing 30 more minutes of this. Here is Wilson, down the right side, played in by Jimenez, trying to get the wrong side of Gomez. Back to Jimenez, who's trying to go through Clark. Well won by Tete. Offside flag is up against Wilson.
Such a shame, isn't it? I'd love to see 30 more minutes of this. And Wilson has done exceptionally well since he's come on. You can see he's absolutely pumped up. And clearly, he must have been offside.
He always plays very well against Liverpool. Fulham fans have noted that, and the Liverpool fans have noted it as well. They're almost a little bit like, what did we do to you? Why'd you take it out on us?
Oh, you're definitely up for it against a former club.
The Liverpool fans, a yellow card I think there as well, and the Liverpool fans are certainly up for it as well. They are starting to raise their banners and celebrate a two-legged victory over Fulham. Liverpool crushed Fulham's cup dreams and charged to Wembley to play yet another final with Chelsea. I think this was harder than they were expecting it to be, but they've come through it. It'll be the third time in 20 months that Chelsea and Liverpool clashed at Wembley. Both of the previous meetings went to penalties. Liverpool will be hoping it's a little bit simpler this time, and Chelsea will be hoping the third time lucky. It's a final in the second half at Anfield and in the first half at the Cottage, where they were given a really tough ride in the second 45 by Fulham, who got back into the game thanks to Issa Diop's goal and gave them a real run for their money. But it is a record 14th League Cup final for Liverpool, who are top of the league, 5 points clear into the next round of the FA Cup and have Europe to come as well. And of course, now a cup final at Wembley. Not bad, huh? Fulham won, Liverpool won on the night. Liverpool win 3-2 on aggregate.